What makes the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF stand out in the market? Have you ever wondered what sets certain investment strategies apart from others? In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of income-generating ETFs to uncover what makes the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF a standout performer in the market. From its innovative approach to active management and focus on income generation, we'll explore the unique features and attributes that make this ETF a compelling choice for investors seeking enhanced yield and risk management benefits. Question 1. What is the primary objective of the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF? The YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF is a unique investment vehicle designed to optimize income generation through the strategic use of options within its portfolio. Unlike traditional income-focused ETFs that primarily rely on fixed income securities or dividend-paying stocks, the YieldMax Coin ETF employs sophisticated option strategies to enhance yield potential while managing risk effectively. At its core, the primary objective of the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF is to maximize income generation for investors through the strategic utilization of options contracts. By leveraging options, the fund aims to capitalize on various market conditions and generate consistent income streams, thereby enhancing overall portfolio returns. To achieve its primary objective, the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF employs a range of strategic approaches, including 1. Option writing. One of the fundamental strategies employed by the ETF is option writing, whereby the fund sells options contracts on underlying securities within its portfolio. By writing options, the fund collects premiums, thereby generating immediate income for investors. 2. Covered calls. Another commonly utilized strategy is writing covered call options on securities held within the ETF's portfolio. This strategy involves selling call options while simultaneously holding an equivalent position in the underlying security, providing downside protection while capturing premium income. 3. Cash-secured puts. The ETF may also engage in writing cash-secured put options, wherein the fund sells put options on securities it is willing to purchase at predetermined strike prices. This strategy enables the fund to generate income while potentially acquiring securities at favorable prices. 4. Collar strategies. Additionally, the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF may implement collar strategies, combining the purchase of protective puts with the sale of covered calls to establish price ranges within which the portfolio can fluctuate while still generating income. Investing in the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF offers several benefits for investors. 1. Enhanced income generation. By strategically leveraging options, the ETF aims to enhance income generation potential compared to traditional income-focused investments. 2. Diversification. The ETF provides diversified exposure to a range of underlying securities, including equities, while actively managing risk through option strategies. 3. Downside protection. Certain option strategies employed by the fund, such as covered calls and collars, provide downside protection during market downturns, potentially mitigating losses for investors. 4. Potential for capital appreciation. In addition to income generation, the ETF may also offer opportunities for capital appreciation, particularly in rising markets, albeit with associated risks. The primary objective of the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF is to maximize income generation for investors through the strategic use of options. By employing sophisticated option strategies, the ETF aims to enhance yield potential while effectively managing risk. Investors seeking diversified income-generating opportunities with the potential for capital appreciation may find the YieldMax Coin ETF a compelling addition to their investment portfolios, provided they carefully consider the associated risks and objectives. The YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF presents a unique opportunity for investors to access income generation potential through innovative options strategies within a diversified investment vehicle. By understanding the primary objective and underlying strategies of the ETF, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 2. How does the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF utilize options in its investment strategy? The YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF employs a range of sophisticated option strategies to achieve its investment objectives. These strategies are carefully crafted to optimize income generation while managing downside risk. Let's delve into some of the key option strategies utilized by the ETF. 1. Option writing. Option writing lies at the heart of the YieldMax Coin ETF's investment strategy. The fund strategically sells, writes, options contracts on underlying securities within its portfolio, collecting premiums as compensation. By writing options, the ETF generates immediate income for investors, which adds to the overall yield of the portfolio. 2. Covered calls. Covered calls represent another essential component of the YieldMax Coin ETF's option strategy. In a covered call strategy, the fund sells call options on securities it holds within its portfolio while simultaneously holding an equivalent position in the underlying security. This strategy provides downside protection while allowing the fund to capture premium income from the sale of call options. 3. Cash-secured puts. The YieldMax Coin ETF may also engage in writing cash-secured put options. In this strategy, the fund sells put options on securities it is willing to purchase at predetermined strike prices. By doing so, the ETF generates income from the premiums received while potentially acquiring securities at favorable prices if the options are exercised. 4. Collar strategies. Collar strategies involve combining the purchase of protective puts with the sale of covered calls to establish price ranges within which the portfolio can fluctuate while still generating income. This strategy helps mitigate downside risk while allowing the ETF to participate in income generation opportunities. The strategic utilization of options offers several benefits for the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF and its investors. 1. Enhanced income generation. By selling options contracts, the ETF generates immediate income in the form of premiums, thereby enhancing overall portfolio yield. 2. Risk management. Option strategies such as covered calls and collars provide downside protection and help manage risk in volatile market conditions. 3. Flexibility. Options trading offers the flexibility to adapt to changing market conditions and capitalize on various income-generating opportunities. 4. Diversification. By incorporating option strategies into its investment approach, the YieldMax Coin ETF enhances portfolio diversification, potentially reducing overall portfolio risk. While options trading offers compelling opportunities for income generation and risk management, investors should be aware of certain considerations. 1. Options risk. Options trading involves inherent risks, including the potential for loss of capital. Investors should have a thorough understanding of options and their associated risks before investing in the YieldMax Coin ETF. 2. Market volatility. The performance of option strategies may be influenced by market volatility, which can impact options pricing and the effectiveness of certain strategies. Investors should be prepared for fluctuations in portfolio value. 3. Expense ratio. Like all investment products, the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF has an associated expense ratio, which can impact overall returns. Investors should assess the cost-effectiveness of the ETF relative to its performance and objectives. The strategic utilization of options plays a pivotal role in the investment strategy of the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF. By employing sophisticated option strategies such as option writing, covered calls, cash-secured puts, and collars, the ETF aims to maximize income generation while effectively managing risk. Investors seeking diversified income-generating opportunities with the potential for capital appreciation may find the YieldMax Coin ETF a compelling addition to their investment portfolios, provided they carefully consider the associated risks and objectives. The YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF's utilization of options presents a unique opportunity for investors to access income generation potential while managing risk effectively. By understanding the ETF's option strategies and their implications, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 3. How does the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF's investment strategy differ from traditional income-focused ETFs? The YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF revolutionizes income generation by employing a dynamic investment strategy centered around options trading. Unlike traditional income-focused ETFs that predominantly rely on fixed-income securities, the YieldMax Coin ETF strategically utilizes options to enhance income generation while managing risk effectively. Let's delve into the key differences between the investment strategy of the YieldMax Coin ETF and traditional income-focused ETFs. 1. Options utilization. The primary distinction between the YieldMax Coin ETF and traditional income-focused ETFs lies in the strategic use of options within the portfolio. While traditional ETFs typically hold fixed-income securities or dividend-paying stocks, the YieldMax Coin ETF actively engages in options trading to optimize income generation. By leveraging options, the ETF seeks to capitalize on various market conditions and generate consistent income streams, offering investors enhanced yield potential. 2. Active management. Unlike passive income-focused ETFs that track benchmark indexes passively, the YieldMax Coin ETF employs an active management approach. The fund's portfolio managers actively select and manage options contracts based on market opportunities and the fund's investment objectives. This active management style allows the ETF to adapt quickly to changing market dynamics and capitalize on income-generating opportunities, providing investors with potentially higher returns. 3. Flexibility and adaptability. Traditional income-focused ETFs often follow a static investment strategy, investing primarily in fixed-income securities or dividend-paying stocks. In contrast, the YieldMax Coin ETF offers greater flexibility and adaptability through its options-based approach. Options trading provides the ETF with the flexibility to adjust its portfolio positioning dynamically, optimizing income generation while managing risk effectively in different market environments. 4. Risk management. While both traditional income-focused ETFs and the YieldMax Coin ETF aim to generate income for investors, their approaches to risk management differ significantly. Traditional ETFs typically rely on diversification and asset allocation to manage risk, focusing on preserving capital and generating steady income. In contrast, the YieldMax Coin ETF employs sophisticated option strategies to manage risk actively. By utilizing options, the ETF can hedge against adverse market movements and potentially enhance risk-adjusted returns for investors. The unique investment strategy of the YieldMax Coin ETF offers several benefits for investors. 1. Enhanced income generation. By actively engaging in options trading, the ETF aims to enhance income generation potential compared to traditional income-focused ETFs. 2. Dynamic risk management. Option strategies allow the ETF to actively manage risk and adapt to changing market conditions, potentially mitigating losses and enhancing portfolio stability. 3. Flexibility and adaptability. The ETF's options-based approach provides flexibility to capitalize on income-generating opportunities while adjusting portfolio positioning dynamically. 4. Potential for higher returns. The active management style of the YieldMax COIN ETF may offer the potential for higher returns compared to passive income-focused ETFs, particularly in volatile market environments. The investment strategy of the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF represents a paradigm shift in income generation, offering investors a dynamic and innovative approach to optimizing yield potential while managing risk effectively. By strategically utilizing options within its portfolio, the ETF distinguishes itself from traditional income-focused ETFs, providing investors with enhanced income generation opportunities and potentially higher returns. However, investors should carefully consider the associated risks and objectives of the ETF before incorporating it into their investment portfolios. The YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF's investment strategy offers a compelling alternative to traditional income-focused ETFs, with its dynamic approach to options utilization and risk management. By understanding the unique characteristics of the ETF and its potential benefits, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 4. What is the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF's option writing process and how it generates income? Option writing, also known as selling options, is a strategic approach that involves the sale of options contracts on underlying securities within a portfolio. This process allows investors to collect premiums upfront in exchange for assuming certain obligations associated with the options contract. Option writing can be employed on both call options, which provide the right to buy the underlying asset, and put options, which provide the right to sell the underlying asset. The YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF adopts a systematic approach to option writing, carefully selecting options contracts that align with its investment objectives and risk parameters. Let's explore the key components of the ETF's option writing process and how it generates income. 1. Security selection. The option writing process begins with the ETF's portfolio managers identifying suitable underlying securities on which to write options contracts. These securities are typically selected based on factors such as liquidity, volatility, and fundamental analysis. The ETF may choose to write options on individual stocks, exchange-traded funds, ETFs, or indices, depending on market conditions and the fund's investment strategy. 2. Strike price and expiration date selection. Once the underlying securities are identified, the ETF's portfolio managers determine the appropriate strike price and expiration date for the options contracts to be written. The strike price represents the price at which the underlying security can be bought or sold, while the expiration date specifies the timeframe within which the options contract is valid. These parameters are selected based on market expectations, volatility levels, and the ETF's income generation objectives. 3. Premium collection. After selecting the appropriate options contracts, the YieldMax COIN ETF proceeds to sell, write, these contracts to counterparties in the options market. In exchange for assuming the obligation associated with the options contract, the ETF collects premiums upfront from the buyers. These premiums represent immediate income for the ETF, contributing to the overall yield of the portfolio. 4. Obligations and risks. As the seller of options contracts, the YieldMax COIN ETF assumes certain obligations and risks. For call options, the ETF may be obligated to sell the underlying security at the specified strike price if the option is exercised by the buyer. For put options, the ETF may be obligated to purchase the underlying security at the strike price if the option is exercised. The ETF's portfolio managers carefully manage these obligations and risks through ongoing monitoring and risk management strategies. 5. Income generation. The primary objective of the option writing process is to generate income for the YieldMax COIN ETF and its investors. By selling options contracts and collecting premiums upfront, the ETF generates immediate income, which adds to the overall yield of the portfolio. This income can be distributed to investors in the form of dividends or reinvested to enhance total returns. The option writing process offers several benefits for the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF and its investors. 1. Enhanced income generation. By selling options contracts, the ETF generates immediate income in the form of premiums, thereby enhancing overall portfolio yield. 2. Risk management. Option writing allows the ETF to manage risk effectively by collecting premiums upfront and potentially hedging against adverse market movements. 3. Flexibility and adaptability. The ETF's option writing process provides flexibility to capitalize on income-generating opportunities while adjusting portfolio positioning dynamically. 4. Potential for higher returns. The systematic approach to option writing may offer the potential for higher returns compared to traditional income-focused investments, particularly in volatile market environments. The option writing process lies at the core of the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF's innovative approach to income generation. By systematically selecting and selling options contracts on underlying securities, the ETF generates immediate income while managing risk effectively. Investors seeking enhanced income generation opportunities with the potential for higher returns may find the YieldMax COIN ETF a compelling addition to their investment portfolios, provided they carefully consider the associated risks and objectives. The option writing process of the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF offers a dynamic and systematic approach to income generation, setting it apart from traditional income-focused investments. By understanding the intricacies of option writing and its implications, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 5. What are the key metrics or indicators the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF uses to assess potential investment opportunities? Before exploring the specific metrics utilized by the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF, it's essential to understand the broader investment evaluation process. When considering potential investment opportunities, ETFs typically conduct thorough analysis and assessment to determine whether an investment aligns with their investment objectives, risk parameters, and performance expectations. This evaluation process often involves quantitative analysis, qualitative assessment, and consideration of market dynamics. The YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF employs a range of key metrics and indicators to assess potential investment opportunities systematically. These metrics serve as fundamental criteria for evaluating the attractiveness and suitability of various assets within its portfolio. Let's explore some of the key metrics and indicators utilized by the ETF. 1. Yield metrics. YieldMax COIN ETF places significant emphasis on yield metrics when evaluating potential investment opportunities. These metrics include a current yield. The current yield represents the annual income generated by an investment relative to its current market price. The ETF assesses the current yield of potential investments to gauge their income generation potential and compare them to other income-generating assets. B. Dividend yield. Dividend yield measures the annual dividend income distributed by a security relative to its market price. The ETF evaluates dividend yield as an indicator of potential income generation and dividend stability, particularly for dividend-paying stocks and equity ETFs. C. Option premium yield. Given its options-focused investment strategy, the ETF considers option premium yield as a key metric when evaluating potential options contracts. Option premium yield represents the income generated from selling options contracts relative to the underlying security's price or notional value. 2. Volatility metrics. Volatility metrics play a crucial role in the investment evaluation process of the YieldMax COIN ETF, particularly given its focus on options trading. These metrics include: A. Historical volatility. Historical volatility measures the magnitude of price fluctuations of an underlying security over a specified period. The ETF assesses historical volatility to gauge the potential risk and reward associated with options trading on the underlying security. B. Implied volatility. Implied volatility reflects the market's expectation of future price volatility of an underlying security, as implied by the prices of options contracts. The ETF analyzes implied volatility to assess the relative pricing of options contracts and potential income generation opportunities. 3. Fundamental analysis. In addition to yield and volatility metrics, the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF conducts fundamental analysis to evaluate the financial health and performance of potential investment opportunities. Fundamental analysis includes: A. Earnings growth. The ETF assesses the historical and projected earnings growth of individual stocks or underlying securities to gauge their potential for generating sustainable income and capital appreciation. B. Cash flow analysis. Cash flow analysis involves examining the cash flow statements of potential investments to assess their ability to generate consistent income and support dividend payments or option premiums. C. Balance sheet strength. The ETF evaluates the balance sheet strength of potential investments, focusing on factors such as debt levels, liquidity, and asset quality. A strong balance sheet indicates financial stability and resilience, which are essential considerations for income-focused investments. 4. Technical analysis. In addition to fundamental analysis, the YieldMax COIN ETF may utilize technical analysis to identify potential investment opportunities and optimize entry and exit points. Technical analysis involves: A. Price trends. The ETF analyzes price trends and patterns of potential investments using various technical indicators such as moving averages, support and resistance levels, and momentum oscillators. Price trends provide insights into potential income generation opportunities and market sentiment. B. Options pricing models. The ETF employs options pricing models, such as the Black-Scholes model, to estimate the fair value of options contracts and assess their attractiveness relative to current market prices. Options pricing models incorporate factors such as underlying security price, strike price, time to expiration, and volatility. The systematic evaluation of potential investment opportunities offers several benefits for the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF and its investors. 1. Objective decision-making. By utilizing key metrics and indicators, the ETF ensures objective and data-driven decision-making when evaluating potential investments, reducing the influence of emotions or biases. 2. Risk management. The systematic evaluation process allows the ETF to assess the risk and reward characteristics of potential investments comprehensively, enabling effective risk management and portfolio diversification. 3. Enhanced income generation. By identifying high-yield and income-generating opportunities, the ETF maximizes its income generation potential, providing investors with consistent and sustainable income streams. 4. Performance optimization. Through rigorous evaluation and analysis, the ETF seeks to optimize portfolio performance and achieve its investment objectives, including income generation and capital preservation. The systematic evaluation of potential investment opportunities is a cornerstone of the YieldMax COIN option income strategy ETF's investment approach. By employing key metrics and indicators such as yield, volatility, fundamental analysis, and technical analysis, the ETF systematically identifies high-yield and income-generating opportunities while managing risk effectively. Investors seeking income-focused investments with a systematic and data-driven approach may find the YieldMax COIN ETF a compelling addition to their portfolios, provided they carefully consider the associated risks and objectives. The use of key metrics and indicators in the evaluation process enhances the YieldMax COIN option income strategy ETF's ability to identify and capitalize on income generation opportunities systematically. By understanding the metrics employed and their implications, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 6. What is the correlation between the YieldMax COIN option income strategy ETF's performance and broader market movements? Correlation measures the statistical relationship between two variables, typically expressed as a numerical value between -1 and 1. A correlation coefficient of 1 indicates a perfect positive correlation, meaning that two variables move in perfect synchronization. Conversely, a correlation coefficient of -1 indicates a perfect negative correlation, meaning that two variables move in opposite directions. A correlation coefficient of 0 indicates no correlation, meaning that there is no discernible relationship between the two variables. The correlation between the performance of the YieldMax COIN option income strategy ETF and broader market movements depends on various factors, including the ETF's underlying investment strategy, market conditions, and economic environment. Let's explore some key considerations. 1. Options-based investment strategy. The YieldMax COIN ETF employs a unique investment strategy focused on generating income through options trading. Unlike traditional ETFs that primarily invest in equities or fixed-income securities, the YieldMax COIN ETF actively engages in options strategies such as option writing, covered calls, and cash-secured puts. As a result, the ETF's performance may exhibit different characteristics compared to traditional market benchmarks. 2. Market conditions and volatility. The correlation between the YieldMax COIN ETF and broader market movements is influenced by market conditions and volatility levels. During periods of high market volatility, the performance of the ETF may be more closely tied to broader market movements as investors adjust their risk exposure and sentiment. Conversely, during periods of low volatility, the ETF's performance may be driven more by its options strategies and income generation potential. 3. Economic environment. The correlation between the YieldMax COIN ETF and broader market movements may also be influenced by the economic environment and macroeconomic factors. For example, during economic downturns or periods of uncertainty, investors may seek defensive strategies such as options-based income generation, leading to a divergence in the ETF's performance relative to traditional market benchmarks. To assess the correlation between the YieldMax COIN option income strategy ETF and broader market movements, it is essential to analyze historical performance data and observe how the ETF has responded to various market conditions. By examining correlations over different time periods and market cycles, investors can gain insights into the ETF's behavior and its relationship with broader market movements. 1. Correlation analysis. Investors can conduct correlation analysis by comparing the performance of the YieldMax COIN ETF with relevant market benchmarks such as stock indices, e.g., S&P 500, bond indices, e.g., Bloomberg Barclays U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, or volatility indices, e.g., CBOE Volatility Index. By calculating correlation coefficients over different time frames, Investors can quantify the degree of correlation between the ETF and broader market movements. 2. Stress testing. Stress testing involves simulating various market scenarios and analyzing how the YieldMax COIN ETF's performance responds to changes in market conditions and volatility levels. By stress testing the ETF's portfolio under different economic scenarios, investors can assess its resilience and ability to generate income across a range of market environments. 3. Factor analysis. Factor analysis involves identifying and analyzing the underlying factors that drive the performance of the YieldMax COIN ETF and broader market movements. Factors such as interest rates, inflation, corporate earnings, and geopolitical events can influence both the ETF's performance and broader market dynamics. By conducting factor analysis, investors can better understand the sources of correlation and divergence between the ETF and market benchmarks. Understanding the correlation between the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF and broader market movements has several implications for investors. 1. Diversification benefits. The YieldMax COIN ETF's unique investment strategy may offer diversification benefits by providing exposure to income-generating opportunities that are less correlated with traditional market benchmarks. Investors seeking to diversify their portfolios and reduce overall portfolio risk may consider allocating a portion of their assets to the ETF. 2. Risk management. While the YieldMax COIN ETF may exhibit lower correlation with broader market movements, it is essential for investors to consider its risk characteristics and potential for capital loss. While option strategies can provide income generation potential and downside protection, they also entail risks such as options expiration, market volatility, and counterparty risk. Investors should carefully assess the risk-return profile of the ETF and align it with their investment objectives and risk tolerance. 3. Performance expectations. Investors should set realistic performance expectations for the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF based on its historical performance, correlation with broader market movements, and underlying investment strategy. While the ETF may provide income generation potential and capital preservation benefits, its performance may vary depending on market conditions and the effectiveness of its option strategies. The correlation between the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF and broader market movements is influenced by various factors, including the ETF's underlying investment strategy, market conditions, and economic environment. While the ETF may exhibit lower correlation with traditional market benchmarks due to its options-based approach, investors should carefully assess its risk-return profile and performance expectations. By understanding the correlation dynamics and implications for portfolio construction, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 7. How does the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF hedge against adverse market conditions? Hedging is a risk management strategy used by investors to offset potential losses in one investment by taking opposite positions in related assets or derivatives. The primary objective of hedging is to reduce the impact of adverse market movements and protect the value of the investment portfolio. Hedging techniques can include options contracts, futures contracts, inverse ETFs, and other derivative instruments. The YieldMax COIN ETF utilizes a range of hedging strategies to protect against adverse market conditions and manage risk effectively. These strategies are integral to the ETF's investment approach and contribute to its resilience in volatile market environments. Let's explore some of the key hedging techniques employed by the YieldMax COIN ETF. 1. Options-based hedging. As an options-focused ETF, the YieldMax COIN employs options-based hedging strategies to protect against adverse market movements and manage risk. These strategies include: A. Protective puts. the ETF may purchase put options on underlying securities within its portfolio to establish downside protection. Put options give the ETF the right to sell the underlying securities at a predetermined price, strike price, within a specified period, providing insurance against potential declines in asset prices. B. Collar strategies. Collar strategies involve combining the purchase of protective puts with the sale of covered calls on underlying securities. This strategy establishes price ranges within which the ETF can fluctuate while still generating income. Collar strategies provide downside protection while allowing the ETF to participate in income generation opportunities. 2. Diversification. Diversification is a fundamental risk management technique employed by the YieldMax COIN ETF to hedge against adverse market conditions. The ETF maintains a diversified portfolio of underlying securities across various asset classes, sectors, and geographies. By spreading its investments across a broad range of assets, the ETF reduces concentration risk and enhances portfolio resilience to individual security or sector-specific risks. 3. Active portfolio management. The YieldMax COIN ETF engages in active portfolio management to dynamically adjust its holdings and hedging strategies in response to changing market conditions. The ETF's portfolio managers monitor market trends, volatility levels, and economic indicators to identify potential risks and opportunities. By actively managing its portfolio, the ETF can adapt its hedging strategies to mitigate risks and optimize performance. 4. Cash allocation. Maintaining a cash allocation within the portfolio is another hedging strategy employed by the YieldMax COIN ETF to preserve capital and mitigate downside risk. Holding cash provides liquidity and flexibility to capitalize on investment opportunities during periods of market downturns or volatility. Additionally, cash allocation serves as a buffer against potential losses and allows the ETF to navigate uncertain market conditions more effectively. Effective hedging against adverse market conditions offers several benefits for the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF and its investors. 1. Risk mitigation. Hedging strategies help mitigate downside risk and protect the value of the ETF's portfolio during periods of market turbulence or uncertainty. By offsetting potential losses, hedging enhances portfolio resilience and reduces volatility. 2. Capital preservation. By employing hedging techniques such as protective puts and collar strategies, the ETF aims to preserve capital and minimize drawdowns in adverse market conditions. Capital preservation is essential for long-term wealth accumulation and portfolio stability. 3. Enhanced risk-adjusted returns. Hedging against adverse market conditions allows the YieldMax COIN ETF to achieve more consistent and predictable returns over time. By reducing portfolio volatility and downside risk, hedging strategies may enhance risk-adjusted returns for investors. 4. Flexibility and adaptability. The YieldMax COIN ETF's ability to employ various hedging techniques provides flexibility and adaptability to changing market environments. By dynamically adjusting its hedging strategies, the ETF can capitalize on opportunities and mitigate risks more effectively. Hedging against adverse market conditions is a fundamental aspect of the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF's investment approach. By employing options-based hedging strategies, maintaining a diversified portfolio, engaging in active portfolio management, and allocating cash, the ETF aims to mitigate risks and navigate challenging market environments effectively. Investors seeking income generation potential with downside protection may find the YieldMax COIN ETF a compelling addition to their portfolios, provided they carefully consider the associated risks and benefits. Effective hedging against adverse market conditions enhances the resilience and risk management capabilities of the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF. By understanding the ETF's hedging strategies and their implications, investors can make informed decisions aligned with their financial goals and risk tolerance. Question 8. What sets of the YieldMax Coin Option Income Strategy ETF apart from other options-based income strategies in the market? The YieldMax Coin ETF distinguishes itself from other options-based income strategies in the market through several unique features and attributes. Let's explore what sets the YieldMax Coin ETF apart and contributes to its appeal among investors. 1. Innovative investment approach. The YieldMax Coin ETF employs an innovative investment approach centered around generating income through options trading. Unlike traditional income-focused ETFs that primarily invest in fixed-income securities or dividend-paying stocks, the YieldMax Coin ETF actively engages in options strategies such as covered calls, cash-secured puts, and collar strategies. This innovative approach offers investors access to alternative sources of income while potentially enhancing yield and diversification benefits. 2. Active management and expertise. The YieldMax Coin ETF is managed by a team of seasoned professionals with expertise in options trading, derivatives, and portfolio management. The ETF's portfolio managers actively monitor market conditions, identify income-generating opportunities, and adjust hedging strategies dynamically to optimize performance and manage risk effectively. This active management approach sets the YieldMax Coin ETF apart by providing investors with access to skilled professionals who can navigate complex market environments and capitalize on opportunities. 3. Focus on income generation. One of the primary objectives of the YieldMax Coin ETF is to generate consistent income for investors through options trading. Unlike traditional ETFs that may prioritize capital appreciation or total return, the YieldMax Coin ETF emphasizes income generation as its primary goal. By strategically selling options contracts on underlying securities, the ETF aims to capture premium income while managing downside risk, providing investors with a reliable source of income in various market conditions. 4. Flexibility and adaptability. The YieldMax Coin ETF offers flexibility and adaptability to changing market environments through its options-based investment approach. The ETF can adjust its portfolio positioning dynamically in response to shifting market trends, volatility levels, and economic indicators. Whether seeking to enhance income generation, manage risk, or capitalize on market opportunities, the YieldMax Coin ETF's flexible investment strategy allows it to adapt to evolving investor needs and market dynamics effectively. 5. Risk management strategies. Risk management is a core focus of the YieldMax Coin ETF, and it employs sophisticated hedging strategies to mitigate risks associated with options trading and market volatility. The ETF utilizes techniques such as protective puts, collar strategies, and diversification to protect against adverse market conditions and manage downside risk effectively. By incorporating risk management strategies into its investment approach, the YieldMax Coin ETF seeks to provide investors with enhanced portfolio stability and capital preservation benefits. 6. Transparent and cost-effective structure. The YieldMax Coin ETF offers investors a transparent and cost-effective investment structure, with competitive expense ratios and no-load fees. Investors can access detailed information about the ETF's holdings, performance, and investment strategy through regular disclosures and reports. Additionally, the ETF's low-cost structure enhances its appeal by providing investors with cost-efficient exposure to options-based income strategies without sacrificing quality or performance. 7. Focus on total return. While income generation is a primary focus of the YieldMax Coin ETF, The fund also aims to deliver competitive total returns over the long term. By combining income generation with capital appreciation potential, the ETF seeks to provide investors with a balanced approach to wealth accumulation and portfolio growth. This focus on total return distinguishes the YieldMax COIN ETF from other income-focused strategies that may prioritize income generation at the expense of capital appreciation. 8. Investor-centric approach. The YieldMax COIN ETF adopts an investor-centric approach, prioritizing the needs and objectives of its shareholders. The ETF's management team focuses on delivering value to investors through consistent income generation, capital preservation, and risk management. Additionally, the ETF offers transparency, accessibility, and liquidity, ensuring that investors can easily buy, sell, and monitor their holdings with confidence. The YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF stands out in the market for its innovative approach, active management, focus on income generation, risk management strategies, and investor-centric approach. By employing options-based income strategies, the ETF aims to provide investors with access to alternative sources of income while managing risk effectively and delivering competitive total returns over the long term. With its unique features and attributes, the YieldMax COIN ETF offers a compelling investment opportunity for investors seeking income generation potential, portfolio diversification, and risk management benefits. The YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF distinguishes itself from other options-based income strategies in the market through its innovative approach, active management, focus on income generation, risk management strategies, transparent structure, and investor-centric approach. With its unique features and attributes, the ETF offers investors access to diversified income-generating opportunities while seeking to optimize performance and manage risk effectively. In conclusion, the YieldMax COIN Option Income Strategy ETF offers investors a unique opportunity to access alternative sources of income while managing risk effectively. With its innovative approach, active management, and focus on delivering competitive total returns, this ETF stands out as a standout performer in the market. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the world of income-generating strategies, consider adding the YieldMax COIN ETF to your portfolio for a diversified approach to income generation and capital preservation. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.